Ladies and gentlemen, we have the first teaser for the upcoming Planet Zoo update. This is a sneaky little image that Planet Zoo has just released on their socials today. And at the first glance, you don't really see that much special in here, or that many special things in here, but there is a lot to talk about. So let's first of all start with the obvious. There are some kids running towards what seems like a shop that we all have been doing in the past. However, if you look closer to the pieces, you will notice that this is not the usual kind of 10,000 pieces items put together to achieve a shop that, without a doubt, looked pretty fantastic, but not as seamless and smooth as this one over here. This, my friends, looks to be a specific shop. This looks to be an actual gift shop in Planet Zoo. Now, there's a lot we have to talk about because I think it's not really particularly clear what exactly this is going to be. I have some assumptions over here that I'm going to outline. So first things first, let's start to the outside of this building. So first of all, this building seems to be done with the already existing pieces in game. I can't really tell if there's a new piece. I mean, I can see one new piece, but more about that in a second. But other than that, the facade and stuff just looks like to be a bit of a nice building, just as, you know, the people at Frontier have been stepping up their game of building stuff in the past. It's done with some classic zoo pieces, some pieces from the Europe set, and, you know, everything is fine. But if you look to the right and left side column of the main door, you will notice that there are some balloons tucked to a little balloon holder. This is something we haven't seen in the game yet. And also the fact that 3 kids are running towards the shop, or like running towards this specifically like this, is kind of new to me. I'm not sure if this is just a very clever shot of a group of people running, but it looks very interesting as if they're running towards these balloons as like a focal point. Which I can think. But now it's important to zoom in a little to the right-hand side of the image. Now, as you can tell, there is a lot going on inside of the room. Now, let's first of all start to the very, very right. It is extremely nice, and you can tell that there is a little shelf, and this piece is definitely completely new. This is a specific shelf piece, and it almost looks like as if this is an actual facility item, because potentially you just click the pieces that you want to sell in or so like that. Not really sure exactly what you will do with it, but yeah, there is a lot of good stuff. You can see some mugs, you can see Planet Zoo. It looks like puzzle pieces, the actual puzzles. I have some at home, so potentially that's that. You can also see some of the hats that are available to purchase, and some plushies that I don't know if they were able to be purchased, but there are plushies in this game, which is kind of cool now. But if you look to a little bit more to the left-hand side, you will notice that there is a different type of shelf, almost like this little shop island that you used to have in a shop, like in a classical gift shop. Now, the question I have is, are these items, down to gift shops only, or will we see this actually for different types of shops, that we have like a unit that can be filled in with different pieces? That's going to be very interesting to see. And also, how do we have to place them manually, or is this like a toggle that you can achieve by clicking in, okay, I'm selling mugs, I'm selling plushies, I'm selling, whatever. But very interesting. And also, this looks to be like a gift shop, but can the people use the mugs, for example, to grab a coffee or to grab something else? Really interesting, and many questions in here. Then you can see there is like on this counter in the center, there's like this little cupcake element. I think we have this in-game already. I'm quite sure that this is one of the in-game elements. And so that tells me that there is at least a way to decorate above and beyond them. And now the only question left is this entire piece over here, is this a shop shelf, or is this a pre-made shelf, for example, a shell that you put some pieces in, or can you customize that yourself? Honestly, I am very much not sure. There's also something bigger here in the background, as you can see. There is like, if you look next to the guy in the white and blue striped shirt, a little bit to the top, you can see that there's like a very tall kind of shelf thing. Maybe where you have some clothes on potentially, or maybe this is not like, there are no products around it. Not really sure, but this looks very interesting too. But the one thing that tells me that this could be a shell of some sort is the floor, because the floor definitely is a texture that we usually don't have as far as I recall. I do notice that this is something I know we have, but I think this is the same floor in the restaurant piece, for example. And you can also see a tiny little, edge, mostly I would call it, to the ground. And now if we look at the door a little bit more specific to the left hand side, this looks to be a new door type or an open door of some sort, because that one looks to be part of the shell. And now if you look into this one, this is an actual wall that has a door frame to it too. And so that may actually be a functional door. Maybe the door slammed open because people ran there. Something that we've been asking for so long, because people either run into these huge open mess things, like these insanely big openings, or they just straight go into the dark. And hopefully it's none of these two. Hopefully it's finally an actually opening door once people go close to it, or maybe it's just staying open and they go through the door frame. It can still also be a very cleverly built. It could also be like the glass opaque piece over here around side. And then because the glass piece is the same to the other sides, it's the same group of pieces, the glass opaque or the normal glass translucent items that are used over here. So this can also be the glass opaque thing and a completely custom built door. That may well be, but potentially it is. And also if we look inside of the door, you can see there are some umbrellas stick to like a little umbrella holder. And honestly, this all gives me so many ideas, and I think the central question is if that is a shop shell that is only like with a couple of toggles, almost like a walkthrough exhibit, if you will, where you click the different enrichment items in, or if all of these shelf items are completely customizable by plopping them down and they act like a barrier or act like a, let's say, for example, the guest education items for the kids, the interactive education tables, for example. Maybe they act like the same way and they can only be placed like tables on a restaurant, for example, that have to be connected to the shop. That would be amazing, because then you could also put some stuff outside of the shell, like, on the street or so, and then put some umbrellas above it for when it's raining or so. But just in general, this looks so cool, and it immediately reminded me of my Planet Coaster areas I built with the custom scenery pieces, where people built actually some plushies for me, including the Rudi Rennkamel plushie that is still available in Planet Coaster. So really interested, and I can't really make up anything what this is guiding to. And also, if we look to the left and then all the way zoom in, there look to be even more shelf pieces and even more customizable pieces, as if there's something in the window almost. I don't know, it looks really suspicious. I'm very intrigued, guys. I'm very intrigued to how this is going to be solved, and also what kind of hint this is to what kind of DLC or what kind of area they're going to. I don't know. It offers so many possibilities, and I'm really interested, really. Anyways, that should be it for today. If you haven't seen the other video I released today, I highly recommend doing so. It is the weirdest and most challenging thing I've ever done. I did build a habitat that only contains 3 items. No joke. The entire habitat is done out of 3 different items: a plant, a wall, and a decorative piece. You don't want to miss out on that. That was a huge challenge. Anyways, for now, that's been it. And also, just enjoy your day. Have a wonderful day. I talk to you in the next one, and goodbye.